Hi and welcome. I'm going to start this anyways in real time because I wanted to just kind of talk through what I was thinking. First off, I'm still having a lot of bruising on my hands from my recent surgery. It was blown up. It was horrible. So I have that, and my voice cracks sometimes. So just bear with me. It is getting better. Hopefully it'll be completely well soon. Okay, so my thought, I'm going to do 4 coins, 4 art coins. And I was trying to decide what to do. And I thought, why reinvent the wheel? And so I thought, I'm going to try and maybe continue to do it this way. I don't know, we'll see. But so I picked out a recent project that I did, and I thought I would just kind of mimic it on 2 coins. And I'm going to do 2 coins as the color on my project and kind of reverse the colors on the other 2. My goal is way down the road, once I have enough of these art coins, I want to mount them in a frame, so I have a frame, you know, maybe 2 feet by 4 feet, something like that. I don't know. Full of art coins. That's my plan. Okay, so I went through and I picked this guy. And he's pretty recent, so I don't know if maybe if I do this again in the future, I'll pick a design from the same week, like this one, or if I'll go back in history and pull something and do it. We'll see. And I'm not promising anything. I'm not promising I'll do it again, but we're gonna do it this time anyways. So this one I'm using the brick stencil with kitsch flamingo or kitsch flamingo in the background, and then worn lipstick for the brick. So I'm going to do that on 2. The other 2, I'm going to do some sort of gray, maybe pink and gray, maybe still do the kitsch flamingo, and then the pumice stone. That might look nice. And then I am going to do a little bit of texture paste. I've got a couple stencils pulled. It's got to be pretty small scale. So anyways, that's the plan. So that's what I'm going to do. And so since it's got embossing, the first thing I'm going to do is use my little static, because I did cut these on my Cricut. Maybe I'll do a video or sometime of all the different ways you can cut a circle. There's lots of different tools. I just happen to have a Cricut, so I'm gonna use that way. But I have probably 3 or 4 other methods that I could punch a circle or cut a circle. I just wouldn't recommend you drawing it and cutting it. It just, unless you've got a really steady cut, I mean, and I know how to cut. I hold my hand still, a cutting hand still, and move the image I'm cutting. That's the best way to cut. But still, it isn't perfect, and these are perfect. And to my eye, I have to have that. Okay, so then the next thing I want to do is put some embossing powder down. And on the pink ones, I'm going to put on gray. And on the gray ones, I'm going to put on pink. This may just be a disaster, but we're going to go. And I'm going to try to stamp it all in. Well, I might do 2 at a time, because I'm not sure I can get all 4. I'm going to do 2 and then 2. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my Versamark Some of the things that I use today are available in my Amazon storefront. It doesn't cost you a penny more, but I get a very small commission, which helps me buy art supplies. But that's in the description of the video. Now I'm not too worried about it being straight because I can always turn my circle a little bit. Okay, so there's two. I'm going to go ahead and do the other one, the other two. I was intubated for my surgery, so my voice has not been the same since. Apologize, but we're not here for my voice, we're here for the art, right? And I'm just gonna wipe that down a little bit. Okay, so the first two I'll use Kitsch Flamingo. Get my gun ready. All right, there's my gun. Here's my Kitsch Flamingo. I didn't get a perfect representation, but that's okay because I'll be adding things, so it doesn't have to be perfect. This one's much better. Okay, there's the pink. Get the pink off that. And I've learned never to have two embossing powders over at the same time. I've dumped the wrong color in the wrong embossing powder. I love this Lost Shadow. Oh gosh, I just love it. Isn't that just so stunning? I might need to add more to that last one. And I always, if you've noticed, I always do my embossing first because it doesn't seem like I can ever get my page dry enough to emboss after I've added distress ink. Now, yeah, if I wait overnight or a day or two, then it will. But I think I will emboss these before and I've ordered me a nicer, where is it? A nicer little holder so that it don't burn my fingers. I've ordered these. I like them, but I like the rubber tips, but they don't squeeze, and I don't know. I just don't. The mechanics of them, I don't like. Beautiful. Oh, that Lost Shadow is just the perfect light gray. And now for the pink. ones aside and work on the grays. Get me a little piece of paper. Actually, I might clean up this. I hate having embossing powder on my mat. Some people have asked about this mat, and I do recommend it. The only thing that I think people might not like is that it comes folded, and it probably took a good 6 months before I didn't have the folds, but the size is great. I mean, this thing is probably, I can't remember how, 30 inches long? I don't know. But anyways, and I've never stained it. Well, I guess one time. But that was no big deal. It eventually came off. All right, so I'm going to first cover these entire two with Kitsch Flamingo. And it's just for a background. It's gonna be kind of like the grout lines will be this color. Oh, I should have got my, oh, it is here. I'll do it as soon as I'm done with these. I mentioned in the video of this one that I liked this pattern so much that I made a journal cover for it. And a couple people asked to see it. I don't know if you'll see it. I don't know if they watched the flip-flops, but this is my journal cover. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very good. And plus it's going to probably have a glare on it. Here I also did gold embossing instead of the brown or the gray, and of course different embellishments. But that's my cover for my, it's not my journal, it's my YouTube planner book. So okay, all right, so now I have that done. Now I'm gonna grab worn lipstick. I can find it. There it is. And I have two, let's see. I need to reorganize my thingies because I don't think that's it. Because there are some I use more than others, and they're not, I guess that is it. Oop, I just hit my thing. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to go through the brick with this stencil, and I'm just trying to make sure it's at the same direction as the embossing, and maybe even that the grid lines or the mortar joints, what am I, I'm not looking at, not calling it correctly, but that they will be in the same direction, or same, like between, you'll have the text on top of the brick, I guess is what I'm saying. Oop. Be nice to put that on. I don't think that was the right one. Oh well, it's pink and you can mix them. Now I'm thinking I didn't do this area over here, and that's correct. this one, I do it a little bit different and leave some of this area. Oh, let go of it. Some of this area over here. Okay, so there's my pinks. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm keep messing with my throat. Okay, so these, I'm going to do the kitsch flamingo on the background. I may regret it, but I really don't have two grays that go together like that. So I'm going to do the kitsch flamingo on the background. And even though two of these look the same and two will look different, they're all going to look different because of the stuff that I put on them will be different. Okay, so I'm grabbing my pumice stone. I'm just going to wipe off the worn lipstick. And I hope this turns out okay. Never really added pumice stone on top of pink. Yeah. Oh, looks good. Okay. All right, so that part is done, and now I'm just going to add some texture paste, which I didn't grab. Texture paste. Thought about doing crackle, but this is going to be so small. So I thought about doing this one, just doing a little bit of stars there, or doing a little bit of almost like plaster splatter. Maybe I'll do two of each. I think I'll do the plaster splatter on the gray. I'm not doing a lot of area, just getting it on the open spot right there. Okay, good. And this mess gone. And on the pinks, we'll use the stars. And I want to use the area where they're not all jumbled together. So I'm going to use this side of the, oh, here's another slip down here. Let's try that one. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to close that back up. Make sure no air is going to get into my texture paste. Okay. There, I think that's going to be fun. I got my pinks up. It got off right here. I don't think it's going to matter. So I'm just going to wipe it off. Put these back. Now these have got to dry. So when I come back, I'll probably, we'll see, but I probably will be voiceover. But I'm going to set these aside to dry, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, it's all dry. And I was ready to go on to the next step, but I just felt like the gray ones needed a little bit of something, almost like to give it more of a dimension. So I got some frayed burlap out, and actually I might use a small guy. And that might be frayed burlap on there. And I'm just gonna try anyways, to touch the tops of the rows, just to give it a little bit of whoops, I slipped. At least, if anything, if nothing else, it'll give it a little bit of dimension, even if it's not at the little edge. And let's see, there we go. Always takes me a little while to figure out where did I have that lined up. I thought he was on the other side of the roof. Okay, that's good. I think the pink's fine. It was just the frayed burlap. And I'm going to use frayed burlap to do all the shading. Well, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to do vintage photo, and then I'm going to do frayed burlap. Or actually, oh yeah. You can tell sometimes I'm thinking as I'm going. And I also have to wipe off anything that's sitting on top of the embossing, because I want to make sure that shines through. I don't want any ink to be hiding that embossing. That's a little clearer, and I think we're going to go back now and add a little frayed burlap to the edge. Frayed burlap is kind of gray and brown, where the pumice stone that went down first is just gray. And I'm going to take out that one, it's unused. I have a brown one here and I need to mark them like Tim does, but okay. So I'm going to try to position, should have got my stencil out and had it ready. There it is. I'll leave that one out too. Position these over the, trying to remember how exactly I had it. I might just have to that looks like it's that. That looks pretty close. I'm gonna go with that. And otherwise I'd be, oh wait, I could go by these too. I think that's close. So I'm just gonna do this. Because I don't just want the tops, I really want some extra a little everywhere. But this is going to get the tops of the texture paste. Just drawing a blank there for a second. And this one I think I'll just try using the brush. I like these brushes for this kind of thing because it helps, well, number one, I think it would kind of rip up your blending pad, but also it helps some of this to reside on the edges. Of the texture paste. Okay. Looks like a piece up here. All right, and I'm gonna be using Vintage Photo for the pink ones. So I'm gonna use the same brush because this is my brown brush, but I'm going to try to take off any of that frayed burlap so I can use Vintage Photo. I mean, would it be the end of the year or the end of everything? Oh, and I do try to want to do these if I can. That might be it. Sometimes it takes forever for me to line them up, and sometimes I get it right away. This one I don't want to be quite as dark because it's like pink. I'll add a little more down below, but I wanted to make sure the tops got a nice coverage. Oops. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some more around it, just to kind of dirty the area. I might do that to the other one too, because it didn't work as well. Okay, I think those are good, and I'm going to add a little more here, just a vintage photo. That frayed burlap just didn't do it well enough for me. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to add a stamp before I want to do the edges. See, my husband's on the roof and a neighbor is mowing their yard. And that's why I do voiceovers. Oh, I already did those. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do stamping. Each one is going to get a different stamp. They're all from the Eccentric stamp pad. And I'm going to use Archival Ink and graphite. Actually, I might... Well, I'm just going to wing it. It's going to be in the lower section. And like I said, each one's going to get a different one, so I have to swap it out after each one. And Eccentric has a bunch of these just oddball stamps, which have so many uses. I think it was if it wasn't the first stamp set I bought of Tim Holtz, it was right near the first. Okay, so now I have some things picked out to, let me line these up a little better. Now he's putting his tools away. What would we do without the men in our lives to do things that they do? I'm going to act like that first number isn't even there and not worry about it. And I think I'm going to, oh my gosh, he's so loud. In his defense, he doesn't know I'm recording. All right, so I'm gonna glue this guy down. Okay, and I think this is gonna go like this. Just kind of cover up those stems. I hate stems showing. So he's going down first. And remember, when they're going over texture paste, you have to hold them a little longer. These are so cute, don't you think? Cute, cute, cute. Actually, I think I'm going to do this one over here. Now, normally on this guy, I would do more fussy cutting, but I was waiting to see what I was going to use him, and you won't even see that. So this is my plan right there, to do that kind of thing. So I'm going to glue him just down to the leaves. And now I'll glue the whole thing. Oops. I was going to put my number down underneath. Last one. Oh, I think I already did that one. And I do have a leaf here. I don't know if I'm going to list all the leaves. I mean, that's going to be hard to list every single leaf I have here. Well, I guess it's only 2, but now, when I put these in the frame, I will be spacing them out so they're not near each other. And you won't know that I have 4 that are very similar, but yet very different. So that's it. And I just wanted to show you again the tag that inspired them. So you don't have to totally recreate the wheel. You can take an idea you had, if you thought it was a successful idea, and I mean, these are totally different shape, totally different scale, and I don't think someone would think, oh, you already made that, right? Especially if you kept some time between them, but you all know this one just landed this past week. So Anyways, I hope you like them. If you have not subscribed, I invite you to do that. If you like them, give me a thumbs up or give me a comment. That would be great. And if you like this idea of me doing some coins, like maybe every Sunday, and based off a previous project, let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time.